This is episode 2, so if you've not watched episode 1, first go back and watch it. Episode 2 of why your relationships are not working or why they don't graduate to the next level. They don't go past the talking stage. Episode 2. Being what you think the guy wants versus who you are. Being what you think he wants versus standing in your truth. For example, you know you don't want to have sex too soon. You tell yourself, by the way, in these other relationships, I'm not running to give it to him. But then you meet this handsome, beautiful, modern man who has your height, the height you like, who ticks the boxes. And the moment he asks you for a sleepover in his house after the 2 weeks, you would jump to that house without thinking, because I don't want to lose him. I know he expects me to go to his house. It's not about what he expects. It's about who you are. Yeah. So being what you think the guy wants versus who you actually are. You tell yourself, in this day and age, uwezi katu hivi ukingoja kupigia, you have to call him. No, it's not about this day and age. It's about you and your pride and you with your standards and you knowing you are a woman who needs to be chased. Right? Yes. If you start becoming what you think the guy wants, for example, when I go to his house, of course, lazima nimpikie. I know he expects me to. It's not what he expects. How do you want to show up? And let me say this. A lot of single women miss this point, and I really want you to hear it. Everyone is trying to be like everybody. We think when you meet a guy, the first month you must, if he has not asked you to his house, you have to make sure you go there for a sleepover. When you go on a date, you have to try to pay. When you're trying to be like everybody else. In the morning by 10 a.m., if he hasn't called you, you have to call him. That is what every other woman is doing. What will make you stand out? What will make him think, by the way, this woman is different? Is you being you, not trying to be what everyone is doing, what every other woman is doing. If you are not taking alcohol, or you've gotten to a point where you think, by the way, I want to do an alcohol cleanse, this year I'm not taking alcohol. And then you meet a guy, and the first night he's like, let's take shots, let's do this. Instead of you standing on your own promises to yourself and being what you want to be, you try to be what you think he wants. And then you go, instead of telling him, by the way, I'm at a point where I'm not taking alcohol, I'm doing a cleanse, so I'm gonna pass. But you enjoy. You go like, let's have alcohol, let's do this. And then at the end of the day, you'd start feeling bad about yourself. And then even him is like, there's nothing unique about you. You're like every other woman in Nairobi or wherever it is that you are at. So if there are things that you've decided, this is how I want to show up, this is the woman I want to be, don't let yourself down because of anybody, because of a man, a stranger you just met. That man, you are not losing anybody. You didn't have him in his life, in your life. He just came, and you just want to betray things you believe in, or things that mean a lot to you, to keep someone you just met. But whereas you've spent the rest of your life with yourself. So don't try to be what the guy wants. Be who you want to be. And let me tell you this, and I tell this to all my clients. That guy, when you start telling him no, when he's like, I want you to come for a sleepover to my house the first 2 weeks. And then you tell him, thank you for the invite, but I don't do that. Before I come to your house, I really would want to get to know you first. He'll be like, wow, this one is different. Oh, the others, nobody says that. He's like, wow, I want to get to know this one. They will respect you so much. When you start having boundaries, when you start showing up, for example, when he starts calling you at 11 p.m., you wake up early and you're already in bed by that time. And then he starts calling you at midnight. And then instead of telling him, by the way, I appreciate you checking up on me at night, but if you want to call me in the evening, just call me before 9. After 9, you can just drop a text. I will look at it in the morning. Instead of you losing sleep, waking up at midnight to talk to somebody who you don't have to, because you think if I don't talk to him, he may not like that. Set boundaries. Stand in your truth. How do you want to show up? What are some of the things you've worked on about yourself? What are some of the things you've changed about yourself? Don't let yourself down to keep a man. And let me tell you, when you start setting boundaries, when you start saying no, they become serious with you. Yes, because you're not like every other woman. They feel special. They feel like I found her. They feel this one can say no to me. This is the woman I want to get to know. But we think the opposite. We think, I want to be, I don't want to disappoint him. I want to be what, he expects me to be. Don't think about his expectations. He's wooing you. It shouldn't be a free pass, like he's coming and then it's nowhere. No, let him find the obstacles. Let him, find the boundaries. Let him respect you. Don't try to be what you think. If you're celibate, or if you decided to stay celibate for a while, or you decided I'm not having sex with a guy before it gets official, before I'm his girlfriend, or before 3 months or 6 months, then don't. And when he comes and tries those things, you tell him, by the way, I'm at a point in my life where that's not something that's a priority to me, and your physical or your money is not something that can move me. I would want to get to know your personality. Before it gets to that point, before it gets official, I want to get to know you for you. Yes? Stand in your truth. They respect you more. And if you tell them that, or I'm not taking alcohol at this point, or I'm not doing this, so you enjoy, or I don't do sleepovers, or I don't do, and then he ghosts you and decides you're better off without that person. You'd have betrayed your values and slept with them, or gone taking drugs, and he would have still left, and you're left there feeling terrible about yourself. Don't try to be what you think the guy wants. Be who you want to be. Be the person you are. Don't betray your values. And another thing, like I say, don't be what you think he wants. If he calls you on a random Saturday, you have a plan with your girlfriends or your sister, you're going for lunch. He calls you randomly and tells you, by the way, I want to take you for lunch. And he actually knew you were going out with your friends. Don't cancel plans because of someone you just met. Tell them, hey, I appreciate, I'd have really loved to go on lunch with you, but it's short notice. Next time, please call me a day before so we can plan. Today, I was planning on sleeping. Even sleeping is important to you. If you had planned I'd planned on staying home and resting, or I was going for lunch with a friend, or I just want to watch a movie. So we can do the lunch on Tuesday. Is that okay with you? Or Wednesday? Yeah, so you've told him, I'm not doing this, however, I'm open on this and this day. Let him work with your days. He's chasing you. You are the prize. Yeah, be respectful. It's like the way I'm talking. I'm not like, excuse me, you can't. I'm not doing this. Even when he asks you to go and have sex, he asks you for a booty call. Oh, I want you to come over to my house. I want to show you what I've got and all those things. Just laugh and tell him, hey, I really appreciate that, the gesture of you wanting me to come to your house to visit you. But I don't do that. I prefer to get to know someone for who they are, their character. And if it gets there, it will get there. However, I'm not in a rush. I just want to get to know you for real. If he goes to you and goes those ones, if you don't want to, then shauri yako, you move on. You move, or you drop like a hot potato and you move on. So don't do things you don't want to do just because you're scared of losing the guy. You will lose him by doing those things. The reason that will ensure you don't lose the person you want is by being your own person, by not trying to be like every other woman in Nairobi, or like trying to do what you think people do. Be you. They will, by the way, I said there's nothing as clear. There is nothing as clear as a man who wants you. You don't even wonder if he's into you. He didn't even give you the chance to wonder if he's into you. There's an aeroplane passing. The other time I keep saying there's an aeroplane passing and I don't live near the airport. And some of you have started saying that in the comments. Yeah, I don't know why airplanes just pass. Mostly because I record my videos on Mondays. Anyway, be you. Your person will find you, will love you with your boundaries. You know how another lady was telling me, we were doing coaching with her, she was telling me, I think I have too high standards. There's nothing like too high standards. Your person will match them. And the people that are telling you have high standards, your mother, whoever, they don't understand those standards because theirs are very low. Their standards are down there and yours are here. So they don't know what that is. So they lower them. Don't lower anything for anybody. Your person will find you there. Sawa, don't try to be what you think people want. Don't meet a guy and then start going to wash dishes in his house just because that's what you're supposed to. You don't have to. And he actually even doesn't expect you to. If he expects you to go and do chores in his house and you're not that kind of a woman, maybe that's not the man for you. Yeah? Sawa. Okay, see you on episode 3 tomorrow.